see a tree like this that's covered in spikes and has these weird, almost pumpkin-shaped growths on it, be careful. That's a sandbox tree, and its seed pods literally explode. Each slice of that pod contains a seed, and as the case dries, its fibers shrink and start to pull on each other, making the whole thing want to open up like a flower, but it can't. Eventually, the tension becomes too much, and the whole thing cracks open, flinging the large, flat seeds. As they spin away, they accelerate at an average rate of 41,000 meters per second to reach speeds of up to 70 meters per second. So you definitely do not want to be in the way. The tree, however, also doesn't want you in the way because the point is distance. It's not trying to hurt you. The seeds are big because they're packed with fuel so they can be competitive in a dense forest, but that also means they could end up competing with each other and with their parent. And thus, an explosion evolved to fling the seeds more than 40 meters away, which is like half the length of a football field.
5, 6, 7, 8. Dance with me in my backyard, boy. Looking super fine in your corduroy. Drive me round the block, we can go in a loop, and we'll turn the vibe up on some good boy band tunes. I feel the fresh air, I can feel your eyes staring. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bit scared. My heart is on.
Around us they say, can they be that close? Just let me state for the record, we're giving love in a family dose. We are family. Hey.
Have you ever been in love?
I don't think so.
Do you want me to describe it to you?
If you'll indulge me, I'd like to share something with you that's very important to me. It's a thought experiment, and it goes like this. Think about your parents. You have 2 of them. Can you name both of them? Some people can and some people can't. What about your grandparents? You have 4 of them. Again, can you name them? Some people can, some people can't, it's whatever. What about your great-grandparents? That's 8 people. I think I can name 2 of mine. What about your great-great-grandparents? That's 16 people. I couldn't even give you 1 of mine. What about your great-great-great-grandparents? That would be 32 people, every single one of which is very, very important to you. I mean, if even one of them didn't do their job, you wouldn't be here today. So, do you know any of their names? I don't know any of mine. And if you go back a little further and a little further and a little further, say 12 generations, that's 10 greats-grandparents, we're talking about over 4,000 people. If they all reproduced by the time they were around the age of 30, that would be somewhere in the mid-300 years ago. So 4,000 people who lived just after Plymouth Rock. I don't know a single one of their names, and they're all extremely important to me. And the more I think about that, the more that I realize I have no way of knowing if maybe some of my 4,000 people and some of your 4,000 people are the same people. And if that isn't convincing to you, how many generations back do you need to go before it is? Because just one more generation is 8,000 people. Another one is 16,000. Another one is 32,000. At a time when we only had a few 100 million people on the planet, we didn't have the billions that we had today. The more you think about just how big these numbers get and just how quickly they get there. And when you think about the fact that the distance in time between the first bow and arrow and the International Space Station is only around 12,000 years, you start to realize that this whole human story is your story, whether you like it or not. And you are a shaper in that story. Again, whether you like it or not. The more I think about this, the more I realize just how connected we are and just how dependent on each other we are. Because at the end of the day, we're all we've got. And as pedantic as that may sound, I take that really fucking seriously. And I hope you do too. I hope you think about this today. And I hope that it reminds you to be kind to your fellow Earthlings. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
di saat Sir Iqbal tewas dengan Prusian.
Lotong kelabu. In English dipanggil apa ke? Silver grey ke? Tak ingat. Ya, bahasa Inggeris dia ada. Kenapa kelabu? Dia warna-warna kelabu. Silver lotong. Senang hidup korang, betul? Bahasa Inggeris dia adalah silver lotong. Macam tu. Boleh faham. Wait dah. I search for you lah. Sebabnya buku teks tu lambat nak buka. Ni warna dia. Korang betul. Ya Allahu Akbar. Tak sangka korang betul. Okay, silvery lutong. Okay.
Their wives drink their blood. Come on, Jeff. Get 'em!
Sent from up above, but you and me never had love. So much more I have to say. Help me find a way. And I wonder if you know how it really feels to be left outside alone when it's cold out here. Well, maybe you should know just how.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time.
Weather outside is frightful, but that fire is delightful.